Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Woodshop. This is Arlene and we're going to do something a little different. I'm still on this roll with the cone caricatures that I've been creating. I've done many different ones and I thought nobody's really done a chef before, so let's do a cone chef. I have no idea what he's going to look like by the time I'm done. This is the first time I've ever done a chef, so we'll see how it works out. So let's figure this out. When I went to Google and I looked at some of the hats, their hats are kind of very tall and very distinct. So what we want to do is figure out where the hat is going to go and where the rest of the body will go. And it's not going to be really a lot of detail to it, but I think it will be fun to do. Now I know this piece here, it seems a little more narrow at the top. It just happened to cut it that way, but it's 1 1/2 inch across, square, 1 inch or 3/8 of an inch to an inch at the top. You can go a little wider if you like, and it's 4 inches long. So that's the dimensions on it. So it's 4 by 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 by like 3/4 to an inch or so square at the top. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to figure out where his hat's going to be. So we're going to do his hat a little bit at an angle. So let's do this. Let's just cut a part off right away. Try to figure out where his hat's going to go. So just, go down maybe an inch or so from the front, and about 1 1/4 inches from there, and a little bit further down. We're going to put everything at an angle on him, just slightly. Alright, so we'll match that up. And then don't forget the poofy part of the hat. We're going to try to figure out where that's going to go right away. So we're going to make that the same distance from there over. My voice sounds a little funny. I have this cough that I haven't been able to get rid of, so it's a little hoarse today. But anyway, okay, so and then this is all going to come off too as well. Okay, so they're almost in the same proportion, and we're not gonna have this sticking out way high, but you get the idea. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw this on. Then we're going to kind of figure out where his face is going to go. He's going to have a little mustache. Okay, so we'll figure this to the bottom of his chin. Alright, and then he's going to have his coat, and he's going to be holding a if I can get this right, he's going to be holding a rolling pin. It would be kind of cute, or a pie, but I think a rolling pin, because with the cone projects we try to keep everything in one section. We don't add anything to it. We carve everything right into the block. So let's get started here. Let me get my little bit of juice here, and this is that rubbing alcohol and water. And the rubbing alcohol you just find at the pharmacy department at Walmart, and that will soften up the wood a little bit longer, or a little bit better. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop off the top here. I came up with this idea today and I thought, hey, that might just be kind of fun to do. Well, you know what? I'm just thinking this over. I'm still thinking. Let's go the way I was going here. I was thinking maybe putting this hat tilted to the front, but we'll tilt it to the back. You'll see how it works out. And then we're going to do the bottom part of this hat, and we're just going to cut out the corners. We know where everything goes here, just like we do with every carving we do. Hope you're enjoying the cone projects. I have made so many things out of this one little pattern, which has been a lot of fun. And every time I think I can't think of anything else, remember, you want to go along with the way that line's going. You don't want to go straight in, you want to take it at an angle. Every time I think I can't think of anything different to do, something comes up. So I know I'd like to do a couple of different animals again. I will probably be doing that shortly, but this is what we want here. Okay, now because the hat needs to be round, let's just bring all this down a little bit. We have it marked where we want it, and we can put those back one a little bit. Okay, we're just going to round off the top here a little bit. Take off these edges. We're not taking a whole lot off because we want I'm sorry we want this a little bit rounded here. Okay, so whoops, that doesn't work too well when that breaks off. It's supposed to get warm again tomorrow, and this is supposed to be October. We just got into the month of October, so I'm looking forward to some cooler weather. Alright, we're going to bring this down a little bit. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where the bottom part, we're going to take this all out. Kind of match up those corners with a line going across. Alright. Keep our ideas of where reference points. And now we're going to go to the top of the hat. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go at an angle. We're going to cut it out. And the lines are still there if you can see it. I had it drawn here. You can put those lines back on if that's easier for you. That's perfectly fine. The hats seem pretty simple. A lot of variations to the hats. Like everything else, you know, there's not one way of doing it. Whatever you think will work for you, that's what you do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to undercut it first here, and we're going to worry about the bottom when it gets on the head. We're going to just try to outline all this first. Alright. Like I said, I have no idea what it's going to turn out to be, so it'll be a surprise to you, to me, when I get it done. I have no pattern to go by when I do these projects. I just kind of do it out of my head and teach it as I go along. Sometimes I switch it, so don't be surprised sometimes when I do that. It's just the way it works out. Okay, we'll be right back.